Most leaders believe they are confident. But what if what your team experiences is insecurity? Hi, I'm Vessela, Global Executive Leader, Coach and Trainer. Welcome to Leadership Bites. Today we will talk about the difference between confidence and insecure leadership. Insecure leadership doesn't always look weak. In fact, it often looks the opposite. It can look like someone who is very involved, very present, very detail-oriented. Someone who wants to be part of every conversation, every decision, every outcome. It can look like commitment, like ownership, like responsibility. And that's what makes it so difficult to recognize. But underneath, there is often something else. I need to control, I need to be right, I need to be seen as capable. And that usually comes from one place: a lack of internal confidence. Insecure leadership shows up in subtle ways. Over-explaining decisions because you want to be understood and validated. Avoiding difficult conversations because you don't want to create tension. Stepping into areas that don't actually need your involvement. Not because you don't trust others, but because you don't trust yourself. And over time, this creates something in teams. Less ownership, less initiative, less trust. Because when everything is controlled, there is no space left for others to lead. Now, let's look at confident leadership. Because confident leadership feels very different. It's not louder, it's not more dominant. It's actually quieter. Confident leaders are clear. They make decisions and they stand by them. They communicate simply. They don't over-explain because they don't need to. They set boundaries. They say no when this is needed. And they don't feel need to prove themselves in every moment or in every step or decision they take. And here is something important. Confidence is not about knowing everything. It is about being yourself, being comfortable, not knowing everything. In my work, I see this again and again. Highly capable leaders who know their field, who feel strong, experienced, who are truly competent, but who still question themselves. So they compensate. They become more involved, more controlling, more present, more into details. Not because they want to, but because they don't feel fully grounded. But here is the challenge. The more you try to control, the less your team trusts themselves, and the less your team trusts you. And suddenly, you are stuck in a cycle of dependency from your team and yourself. Confident leadership breaks that cycle because confident leaders create space. They allow others to step in, to grow, to show up. They make decisions and they also learn. They don't need to be the smartest person in the room. They create a room where many people can contribute, where smart questions can be asked. So here is a simple reflection. Instead of asking, how do I prove I'm a good leader? Ask yourself, where am I holding on too tightly or too much? Where could I step back just a little or even more? Because leadership is not about control. It is about creating the conditions for others to succeed. And confidence is not something your team hears. It is something they feel. Because confident leadership is grounded. And that changes everything.